Guys, I'm back. It's been a mad one. This is the third take I'm doing this. The third time I'm doing this. And this is pretty much my story. Do you know what I'm saying? The first time I done it, the camera overheated. The second time I done it, even though my hair's not looking the best, but yeah, I had to redo it. So let's get straight to it. 2010. I've been doing this for 15 years. Do you know what I'm saying? I've had this studio for 8 years. I'll be doing a studio tour soon. But let's just go straight to my story. Started 15 years ago in 2010. You know what I'm saying? I started making house beats, dubstep beats, and all of the above. I was 11 years old till I stumbled into a producer group called the Trap Surgeons. Now, these lot were pretty much like a local group in the ends, kind of just making Chicago beats and early type beats. And I was just like, you know what? I want to start doing that. Shout out Kabuto. I didn't really, you know what I mean, get into the Trap Surgeons, but again, I wasn't that good. But I was making beats and started kind of making Chicago beats around that time. I remember making like OT Genesis like type beats and stuff. Okay, and then it got to a point where I needed a new name. So rather than being Aaron on Facebook, I started thinking of a new name. Do you know what I'm saying? I was just thinking I need a new name ASAP. And that's when Bobby Shmurda was playing in the background. Run up on me, you'll be tweaking, Tweeko. It makes sense, Tweeko. That's my name. It didn't make sense back then, but it made sense now. I used to get mocked about my name, like, what the fuck's Tweeko? But again, that became the name, and later on it made more sense because I became an engineer that tweaks things. That became Tweeko. But back then I was just a mindless little kid making up a name. So 2013 happened. Started making music. I met a couple guys local to the area. You know what I'm saying? That was also making music. We started making music online. Now this falls into 2014 where I kind of dropped my first music video. I used to have like 9 people in the studio week in, week out. Every single day. My mum hated it. She hated it. But it got to a point where, cool, there's 9 of you guys. I might as well just, you know, start coordinating and making things work. And I ended up making the group called Tweeko. Then I changed my name to Tweaks. So I was Tweaks in the prod because I was the producer. And I had the group Tweeko. There was like a good 9 of us. All linked up through Facebook. You know, Facebook days back then, it was mad. I was like a little kid and I had like 3,000 friends. And that's the thing about Lewisham. Lewisham was all about community. Everyone from every school used to know each other. Do you know what I'm saying? This person knows that one. We used to link up in like Catford. We used to link up in Sydenham. Everyone used to just basically link up. Do you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like a normal thing, going to the youth club, meeting all the bait people. Man was a little Aaron Simpson bait in the ends. And yeah, so we made a music group. We made our first music video. That's on OSM. I'll probably put it in the link in the description or something if you guys really want to see that. But it wasn't great, but it got 70k views. It got 70k views, and back then 70k views in 2014 was a mad achievement. We was kind of popping in the ends. A lot of people started to kind of realize that, oh yeah, you guys are demi's. Do you know what I'm saying? You guys are making music. Do you know what I'm saying? And back then, I can't lie, the era growing up, the 1997s to the 2001s, that was the golden era where golden kids were born still, because we was the trendsetters. Do you know what I'm saying? We created UK drill. We created every other sound before that. Do you know what I'm saying? We was pretty much the youngers coming up. Do you know what I'm saying? Hella young producers. The first kind of generation that was kind of more savvy on the laptops, I'd say. Do you know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of young guys, do you know what I'm saying, making music around the time. I know my boy MK, he had his camera, he was a cameraman. He had his own YouTube channel, and I can't lie, if you're from the ends, everybody knows about Flawless Media, Rap City as well. Flawless Media was MK's thing, and we used to just drop music on that as well. Do you know what I'm saying? I think most of your favorite rappers probably jumped on Flawless Media or Rap City still. That was like when it was really popping. And obviously, like, a lot of the old school anthems were always on Quiet Pack. Do you know what I'm saying? Brixton. The Brixton lot were making mad noise, but we're from Lewisham. And in Lewisham, it's like we didn't know anything else but Lewisham. Lewisham was London to us. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything outside was kind of foreign. So me being from Lewisham, I was like kind of, do you know what I'm saying, one of the only music groups doing it at the time. And obviously, I met IQ. IQ again is a big chapter in this story because he did influence a lot of things. Shout out him. And he was making music. He just came from Jamaica. He needed a studio. I think his cousin shouted me, and I just said, "Come to my house." We started making music. It's gonna be a bit more important later on in the story, but 2015 happened, and we started making noise in the ends. Lewisham, all our music videos, we used to have it packed out with at least 30 people, 30 man. We even used to shoot music videos outside the youth club. Do you know what I'm saying? We was kind of the music group, do you know what I'm saying? The producer to go to in Lewisham. And then there was also Play Hard Spray Bars. Now, shout out M. and Shoki, RP to them lot too. And obviously IQ was with Play Hard Spray Bars as well. And them lot were making moves. Do you know what I'm saying? So we was like the two music groups in the ends, do you know what I'm saying? When it came to birthday parties and all of that, all of us would be there. When it came to shows, we're both performing. When it came to everything, was just both there. Do you know what I'm saying? All the time. And it was good vibes. It was great vibes, 2015. And do you know what I'm saying? Play Out Spray Bars was going off. The Tweeko music group was doing their thing. SoundCloud was big. And then 2016 happened. And now this is where a mad pivot in the story happens because it got really dark. I got through my first heartbreak. 2016. It was crazy. And it was a dark time. Do you know what I'm saying? I got to a point where, cool, I'm turning 17. I need to make music. I need to do something with my life. Obviously, I was working in my dad's shop as well from like 12 years old. I was doing like part-time shifts. I got my ped. I was doing doing up deliveries. But I needed peas. So I started getting into things that maybe I shouldn't have got into. And do you know what I'm saying? The things I ain't gonna really say on YouTube. But you know what I'm saying? I need to make bread. I need to make that money. So obviously I had my ped. Do you know what I'm saying? We was doing some things. 2016, it was when basically M. Dot and Shoki passed. RP to them. And that was a big hit for Lewisham as a whole, man. That was so dark, so sad times, you know what I mean? First it was M. Dot. He used to come in my room. We made a tape together, and we used to make a lot of music. Never really came out, but it was a point where basically the two music groups, it was bound to happen that we need to link up. Do you know what I'm saying? We had a little music beef going on back in 2015. But it was kind of like that time where, yeah, cool. We're two music groups. Why don't we just collab and link together? So we was kind of making music together in my bedroom. M. Dot passed. RP him. And this that I hang here was his last tape that we basically had. It was given out on his funeral, but I still have it hung up today. You know what I'm saying? RIP M. Dot, man. And so this was the start of 2016. The start of 2016 around April, that's when things started to get dark. And it got to a point where I was really depressed. You know what I'm saying? It was a point where I didn't even really care about life anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? IQ was in jail at the time. Then he came out, and that's when we started making music together for real. That's when we started, you know what I'm saying? IQ started making noise in the ends, and things were starting to pop. Do you know what I'm saying? It was still a point where a lot of draw outs happened where it was like, well, look, are we going to do music? Are we going to ride out? Are we going to do music? Are we going to ride out? Do you know what I'm saying? It was times where I just got my first car, so, you know, I don't really want to talk about them parts of life, 'cause I don't really advertise it. But it was a really dark time. Being young, when I look back, we was really desensitized to a lot of stuff. Like things that I thought that were just normal really ain't, really weren't. Do you know what I'm saying? I had my friends dying. I had, do you know what I'm saying? A lot of other things going on, a lot of complications in man's life. Do you know what I'm saying? We were young adults, for real. We were adults from young, but the music stuck with us. Do you know what I'm saying? The music stuck with us, and again, we just carried on. Do you know what I'm saying? We carried on, we powered through, and then Shoki died, RP Shoki, and it was a big spanner because, especially for Q and the rest of the guys, because the RIP End Dot song was being made, and I remember Shoki was just like, oh yeah, let me just go to a barbecue. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's just, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to go to a barbecue just before he went to go lay his verse, and do you know what I'm saying? Unfortunate happened, and it got to a point where the guys, they had to change the verse to add Shoki's name on the song, and that was the RP M Dot and Shoki song. Do you know what I'm saying? So big RP to them lot, man. And this is where it came to finding out, how am I gonna build this legacy? Do you know what I'm saying? How am I gonna build this legacy with every distraction and every single hardship being thrown at me right now? Do you know what I'm saying? I think 3 of my friends died that year. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was a dark time. It was literally me and Q thinking, what are we gonna do? Is it ride outs or is it music? And this is where I say music kind of chose me. Do you know what I'm saying? Music kind of chose us, because it was like we got signed to a local label, Finesse Forever. Shout out Finesse Forever. Million times. Because when I say music chose me, they're the ones who found us, and they're the ones who signed me as an engineer and producer, and IQ as an artist. And it was like they saw the talent and they wanted to steer us away from what we was doing. Do you know what I'm saying? And the pressures that was going on in the ends. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody saying, oh, like, look at these guys just doing music. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, go ride for your dead friends. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing stuff like that all the time. It was sad. But it was like, in our heads, in my head, I was kind of like, how am I going to build this legacy? Do I go ride out for my friends, end up dead in jail? Or do I end up making a musical legacy just like how they wanted, and kind of build up the whole thing? And do you know what I'm saying? The brand, everything lives through them guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's going to go hand in hand later in the story. But so 2016, yeah, I ended up getting signed as an engineer. Me and IQ was making bangers. IQ was starting to get hot in the ends. Do you know what I'm saying? He was singing and he was rapping. A lot of people loved the rap. People loved the singing. The girls loved the singing. So it was a kind of big clash between, cool, what does the man want? What does the gal want? But at the same time, the gal are going to make money. So we started, you know what I'm saying, working like that. Couple months down the line, 2017 happened. And now, this is how this was built. The studio, S&M, Sound and Music. But also, from the ends, if you know, Shoki and M-Dot. And that's why I say, I'm so big on legacy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because 8 years in, I'm still here. S&M still here. M-Dot's still here. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's living through me and IQ and the other individuals doing music that were close around. Do you know what I'm saying? That kind of want to keep that legacy going on. Do you know what I'm saying? So 2017 happened, built the studio, and it was a great time. It was a great time because now I had a base where I can bring my people around and I can kind of teach everybody else, like, look, this is what we should do. Make music. And a lot of talented individuals were in the ends, you know what I mean? I met Scratch and Sebs back in 2015-16, and Scratch was in my room every day. Do you know what I'm saying? Sebs was in my room every day. And we was kind of just making music. I know Scratch was with Unit 10. He learned a few things and he taught me a few things back in the day about, you know what I'm saying, things that I wouldn't have thought of. So I got a big give him huge props to him. And Sebs, I remember he hit me up on Facebook one day and was like, yeah, I like what you guys are doing. I see the music group Tweeko, he wants to just see what it's about. He wants to get into producing. So I remember bringing him around and I was kind of showing him how to, do you know what I mean, make a beat and this and that. And now look, Sebs is one of the legendary Sebs beats in the end. In London. International. So shout out him. And same with Scratch. Do you know what I'm saying? The man then went heavy. Do you know what I'm saying? And now that I had this base in 2017, I told everybody, come here, come work for me. Do you know what I mean? Everybody come here and let's just make some shit happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So this was where like the early remnants of UK drill started happening. Sebs was going cold on the beats. He joined a group called the Brigade, and then I eventually joined as well. And when I say the Brigade made UK drill, I don't mean that lightly. Do you know what I'm saying? I was the only engineer of 22 other producers, and we was called the Brigade. M1 on the beat, MK the plug, Gotcha, Sebs, Vader, Sapphire, Micah Beats. That was the gang. Do you know what I mean? That was everybody. We even used to come over here and make beats, and make music and record music. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was the only engineer. If these lot had a placement, cool, send it to me, I'll mix and master it. If, you know what I mean? If everybody needed anything done, the base is here. Everybody can build stuff. So when I say them 22 producers spanned around across of London, now this is where Lewisham turned into London. I started finding like-minded individuals that were, again, around man's age, young as hell. I wanted to make music. So it was a point where, yeah, a lot of rappers started coming to us as individuals, but us as a unit too. And me, Sebs and Scratch, we're in this studio. Do you know what I'm saying? We was recording every day. Got to a point where I was doing 96 hours a week. 96 hours a week, literally averaging an hour a track. 12 p.m.s till 3 in the mornings, 12 p.m.s till 5 a.m.s. I got this client coming in, but I got another one back to back. I've had like 10 clients a day, almost. Do you know what I'm saying? And it got to a point where I was recording everything. Tweeko mixed this, It Sounds Cold. The tag came along. The tag happened in 2016 when I was with Finesse Forever. These lot taught me how to make presets. I remember that. And do you know what I'm saying? The whole formula was building. So 2017 happened. Do you know what I'm saying? The studio was made. The reminiscence of 2016 still lingered on, but the legacy was getting built. And that was when I got banned from my school. I was in year 13. I got banned from my school for 3 months because, do you know what I mean? The guys that were involved in obviously Shoki's thing weren't my school. Do you know what I'm saying? They weren't my school. So the Jakes obviously saw that there was a lot of tensions and stuff because obviously they knew me for working, do you know what I'm saying, with like a lot of people. And that's the thing, the Jakes, they were nosy as hell. They knew everything. So I got banned from my school for like 3 months. I think, even though like his, do you know what I mean, weren't even in the school at the time, obviously they were just wanted to be safe and sorry. So they banned me in the school for 3 months, which then made me focus on the studio. And that's when I ended up just building this. Starting UK drill, you start hearing Tweeko mix This Sounds Cold everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? I started really making moves. Do you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And then 2018 happened. Now that was a good year because so much happened. We made the Coldest Link Up. Now, the Coldest Link Up, because I had all of these artists coming in and out of the studio, I was like, you know what, let me make something from this. Let me, do you know what I'm saying, build something, because I'm always about bringing people together. Do you know what I'm saying? I have barbecues for the whole of Lewisham every year. If you know about my Tweeko's barbecue, then you know. But I was always about bringing people together. So I was kind of like, you know what, let me get you guys. Let's drop an 8 bar for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me do X amount of sessions for free production. But just give me a verse. Do you know what I'm saying? Me and Sebs obviously was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. Sebs made the beat. Iconic. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm always like, yeah, cool. Every day we're on the phone together now, just talking about, cool, have we got this verse done? Have we got this verse done? What are they saying? What's this person saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Is he down to record? And when I say this was a mission, because we're literally doing the unheard of. People didn't like collabing back then. If it wasn't from their unit, if it wasn't from their gang, they didn't want to collab. Do you know what I'm saying? But we was the... Cool, just a quick edit, guys. My camera did overheat. Too much fire in the booth. No, I'm joking. I make it sound cold. So yeah, pretty much, where was I? 2018, me and Sebs made the Coldest Link Up. and that shit was going off. You know what I'm saying? This was a time where every single UK rapper came to the studio. Do you know what I'm saying? Every single rapper, everyone that can make music. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of the rappers before they even blew up came here. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of notable names, but I'm gonna get into that in another video. I'll give you guys a studio tour and I'll show you a couple of the names on the wall. And yeah, it was a mad time. 2017 to 2019 was a crazy run. 2017 to 2019 was a crazy run. That's when it got to a point where we was thinking, hold on, we can make money off this stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a point for a good like half my career. It was pretty much like, oh, like I just do this because I love it. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want to make music, come with me. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's make music. And it got to a point where money was getting generated. Do you know what I'm saying? People were making money, and it was like, yo, we can actually make a career from this shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was a mad time. 2018, 2017, 2019 pretty much had, yeah, the whole of London in the studio. Tweeko Mix This was everywhere. We made the Coldest Link Up one and proved to everybody that we can link everybody up together and make mad music. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's the story of the Coldest Link Up one. Do you know what I'm saying? When that released, it was crazy. Me and Sebs was laughing at each other thinking, yo, what did we just do? We just done something mad that no one has done. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was like, do you know what I'm saying? Iconic, pivotal moment. And yeah, that... Sorry guys, I'm just reminiscing, like, it's actually crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? That being a part of this journey and actually making moves. Do you know what I'm saying? Making the world know that we're London and we got a sound. Do you know what I'm saying? I remember shooting the Coldest Link Up, driving up to Birmingham, because we had the Toothy Drillers on it, and this is when we was just thinking, yo, it came from Lewisham to London to now out of London. Now we're getting some, do you know what I'm saying? People are actually starting to realize that this is a movement. Tweeko Mix This is a movement, and it's a legacy. Do you know what I'm saying? A legacy was being built. So, do you know what I'm saying? During that time, there was a lot of artists that's come through. A lot of music was made. 96 hours a week. Do you know what I'm saying? 12 till 3s, 12 till 5s. Averaging an hour a track. We was pumping them like no tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying? And then 2020 happened. 2019 happened. And that was a beautiful time, because then we was just like, you know what, Sebs, we gotta carry on. We're making number 2. And this time round, it ain't from Lewisham. It ain't from London. It's not from the UK. We're gonna take this overseas. Sebs obviously linked up with the 1-4 guys now. They're from Sydney, Australia. And we saw Australian drill was doing this thing. And this is a moment where UK drill just hit the UK charts. Do you know what I'm saying? No one really knew about labels. Do you know what I'm saying? The labels weren't a thing until we started touching the charts. Do you know what I'm saying? And people from the ends were actually starting to make good music. We had the Afro swing era alongside the UK drill era. And this is when you just saw, okay, young black boys can really get out of this and really make good music and really show everybody that we're just, do you know what I'm saying? We're more than just, do you know what I'm saying? Just youths. You know what I'm saying? And I got I got a documentary out on Vice that I'm going to put the link in the bio if you guys want to watch that. It goes into a little bit of the glimpse. It was shot in 2018 through 2019. And it shows you like a couple of the things that we was getting up to. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was a time where UK drill was pretty much, it was literally UK drill versus the UK politicians. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was a mad time. It got to a point where 300 music videos were getting removed a month. And these lot were celebrating it in the articles. We was like, I was shocked. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not even 20 yet, but a lot of my works is being known to millions. And a lot of people, a lot of the politicians were demonizing our work. Do you know what I'm saying? They hated us. at the fact that we are just making music and we're here to have fun. Do you know what I'm saying? And now we can actually make money from it, and people can actually make moves from it. It got to a point where, yeah, like, I really proved to everybody that man didn't really have to do the hood shit. I didn't really have to, do you know what I'm saying? Ride out, jail, gangs, drugs. I didn't have to do none of that. Do you know what I'm saying? I ended up investing everything I made and built the studio. And this studio has built legacies. Do you know what I'm saying? It's built careers. It's built thousands of careers. They call me the hood superhero, the hood's Dr. Dre. Why? Because I saw past all of that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was only a young boy still learning. Me and Seb were still learning everything. And the Coldest Link Up 2 happened. We literally brought Australia to the UK. And now we was in the charts. This was the first time we got into the charts, and the first ever time I heard a label actually interested in the music that I was making. And then we signed our first label deal with the Coldest Link Up 2, and that was very small budget, but it was something. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a big win, because it was like, yo, we don't have to, we're doing stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? We're now touching the charts. It's not just Jesse James and all of that in the charts. It's not just pop music that's on the radio. We're literally making a movement that's working for us, and we're actually making sound, Afro swing included. Do you know what I'm saying? And then they made the Afrobeat charts and the Afro swing. Yeah, we had a few good summers during them periods, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. 2020 happened. COVID happened. We literally just dropped the Coldest Link Up 2 during COVID, or just before COVID, and this was when TikTok came. So it was like a whole different ball game of things going on. Do you know what I'm saying? I dropped the Coldest Link Up. I remember this was when Fumes first dropped the plugged ins. So it was like, although everybody was kind of in their own areas doing separate things, it felt like we was a family, but we didn't really know, because the whole of the UK drill community kind of, do you know what I'm saying? We all looked past everything that was on the road. We started making music, and individuals started making projects and things that was getting built. I'm seeing black A&Rs getting hired. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, this is working. Do you know what I'm saying? This was working. And so 2020 was another great year. Coldest Link Up 2, I started, you know what I mean, building up my works, my plans for the next coming year. And this was an idea from 2017. I remember Danny was telling me I should do a freestyle series, you know. Do you know what I mean? The Coldest Link Up was good, but you should do a freestyle series. And I kind of, do you know what I mean, was thinking, how am I going to do that? Do you know what I mean? How is this going to work? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even have a set. I don't have nothing. And it took me a good couple years to realize that, cool, I can actually build something. Fumes came out with a plugged in. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, cool, yeah, cool. My vision can actually work in this time. Do you know what I mean? So I ended up, again, drawing up the Cold Room. It was during around 2021 we launched the first episode. But it was like in development for so long. I built the set in my studio right here. I still got the Cold Room set here. That took a few months to build. And yeah, it was just mad. The first ever Cold Room came out, and that's when Tweeko was a household name, so things got easier. I can now shout people instantly. It wasn't a 12-month wait. Episodes. But you know what? With the Cold Room stuff, I'm going to make a whole separate video for that. If you guys really want to see that, just let me know. But that whole Cold Room era, again, another legacy, another thing that's getting built, and another international project from UK drill that's actually made some things go on, you know what I mean? And yeah, the Cold Room story, that's a whole different era and story in itself. I feel like that was catered to a whole different generation of listeners as well. And I feel like that deserves its own video, do you know what I mean? But we had a good run, 2021, 2023. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a good run. And now we're getting back to present day. It's your boy Tweeko. Do you know what I mean? 15 years in the game, 8 years building this legacy, and I just look back and I'm just proud. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just nothing but proud. The fact that I can prove to people that no matter what you are doing, no matter what you do, you can actually make something, you can create something, you can build something, and just make it yours. Do you know what I mean? For the world to hear and to listen to. It's crazy still. And obviously, another complication throughout the years, I'll probably do another video on this as well, but for those that know and those that don't, I've got sickle cell. And if you know about sickle cell, you're born with that. Okay, guys. Just a quick one, because this camera keeps overheating. But pretty much to wrap up, what gives us this present day, I'm still doing the same things. I'm still producing, engineering, DJing, still being your household name, Tweeko Mix This, and the new iconic tag, Tweeko, that you'll probably hear. And yeah, man, that's pretty much the story of Tweeko Mix This. Guys, if you liked the video, please like the video. It doesn't cost anything. I really want to, do you know what I mean, make content for you guys, so I really see it if you guys are engaging. Like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and peace.